What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this POV review by Autobahn. My name is Max, and today I'm taking you around the new facelifted and improved BMW M235 GranCoupe. So this is basically the four-door coupe brother of the M135, which I reviewed recently. Click in the top right corner if you want to watch that video. This car has had basically the same changes, although to begin with, the GranCoupe is supposed to be a little bit more of a sporty car, a little bit more of a grown-up thing. So today I'm going to show you around it. We'll take a look at the spec and then we'll take a drive towards the Autobahn for an Autobahn blast. Now, let's start with a few things that I don't like, which is the fact that it looks weird. I still think the front is weird. It looks like a fish in distress, I said in my M135 or in my 1 Series video, I think. I still think it doesn't really look good. However, the front with this body type, the lines, the shapes, I don't know, it just works a little bit better than a 1 Series, if you ask me. Neighbor. I still don't think it's a very pretty car, but I think it works better than the 1 Series. Let me know what you think. So at the front, because this is an M Performance model, we have a more aggressive front bumper. We have shadow line accents like this lower part of the bumper and also the grille, which is always black. M badge in the grille there as well. And because this car, I don't believe it has the M technology pack, because I saw a couple of options separately with a price, but these dark headlights are part of that technology pack normally, but I think you can also spec that separately. But these brakes and wheels are part of the technology pack, but they were separately, so I don't know, it's very confusing. Anyway, this is the 19-inch 1085M design wheel in Orbit Grey that I was talking about in my M135i video. I was wondering about this wheel. I think it looks really good. I think it's a handsome, good looking wheel. Behind that we've got the upgraded M compound brakes, large discs, perforated as you can see, really good braking performance actually. And we've got Goodyear Eagle F1 tires. So this is a 19-inch wheel and we've got a 235 section tire. M badge there, black shadow line on the mirrors and on the window surrounds. We've got the 2 there. So is this very practical? No, it's not super spacious. It's not, I don't think it's a lot more spacious or practical than a 1 Series, to be fair. I think you buy this for the style, right? So if you want like a 4-door, like a GranCoupe, then this is your thing. If you want a more practical car than a 1 Series, I think you should go for the 3 Series, basically. Which, yeah, I would probably do. Anyway, at the rear, we've got 235s as well, I think, yeah. And then we've got a little spoiler here. We've got the shadow line diffuser with a quad tailpipe exhaust, which is real, as you can see. So that's a proper exhaust with a massive silencer there, but at least the tips are real. And you do get a bit more space than a 1 Series? Yeah, I think this is a bit more practical of a boot space, although a hatchback might be more practical shape, because you can also have a bit more space. I don't know, it depends. It depends the way how you look at it, if this is more practical than a hatchback. But anyway, I digress. Let's take a look at the engine. So this is an improved version of the B48 that was already in the previous M235i, used to be called. So they improved a lot of things, like redesigned intake ports and combustion chambers, and it also has a reworked turbo and a new crank. 300 horsepower, 400 newton meters of torque, which is not as much as you get in the US, which is I think like 320 horsepower. But 300 we get in Europe. It is a bit better than before, however, it's still not the most sexy engine. It's not really characterful or charismatic. They did improve a lot on the suspension on this car, so we've got stiffer anti-roll bars, we've got a new bracing bar at the rear, We've got adaptive dampers, more caster on the front wheels. So it handles very well. It feels good to drive. It's not super exciting, but it feels very, very solid, and it kind of listens to your inputs really well. Still have the weird badge though, so you still have that M235. So that's where I think that's what maybe that's like a tactic. If you go to the bar and someone asks, what kind of car do you drive? I've got an M235. Right? M235. M235. Yeah, I don't really like that. But these are tiny, tiny details. So let's take a look inside, because we've got a nice spec in here. We've got a two-tone interior with this red and black leather. Super nice, soft leather. Seats are great, nice and supportive. Very good bolstering and adjustability. Down here, you can actually adjust everything on this seat, I think. Let me check. On the seat, which is just revolutionary. Nowadays at BMW you have to... Oh no, the bolstering and stuff is in here, right? No, I think... Yeah, okay, so everything is done with buttons. But is this not adjustable? There we go. Okay, so you hit the button and then you get this, which means that now I can use the plus to adjust the bolstering here. Okay. So your lumbar and your bolstering basically is adjustable with one button there. So it's great. I don't need to go into the menu and hit the thing 40 times to get to my settings, which is the case with everything else, like you see here. I don't like this. This is stupid. Still, I'm going to say it every time until it's better. Anyway, let's start it up. Steering wheel, also not a fan of this. I don't think this is very premium. There are more things that don't feel that premium. However, for a hatchback, basically this feels good. So it's basically it's on the platform of the 1 Series, of the X1 as well. It's not like with the 4 Series GranCoupe, which is basically on the 3 Series platform. So the 2 Series Coupe and the 2 Series GranCoupe are not on the same platform, because the 2 Series Coupe also has a 6-cylinder. It's a completely different car. This is based on more on the 1 Series and the Mini and stuff like that. So it's the front wheel drive platform, obviously. So let's go to live vehicle. There we go. We get some power gauges when we go to sport. My modes, sport, activate. There we go. Be careful. Yeah. So drivetrain Sport Plus, dynamics Sport Plus, steering in sport. Perfect. Now when we go to live vehicle, there it is, you get the power gauges. So sport for the gearbox, and let's have a drive. Because I do, you know, it's not my favorite car in the world, I'll be honest. However, they have improved it quite a bit over the last generation, and even though I don't really like the styling of it, I do get the car, which is not always the case anymore with BMWs. I'm not going to hit the tunnel because I guarantee I will be behind some of those cars. So this does feel like properly solid, even though the drivetrain, as I said, it's not very sexy. Most of the sound you hear is through the speakers, which we can also adjust. So let's dive back into the menus. We have to go to, oh my god, this one, that one, and then there, and then turn off iconic sounds. This is engine. This is just engine. And then you get a little bit of wastegate. When you release, you get a ch, which is nice as well. I prefer this. If I were to buy this car, I would just turn off those iconic sounds, because this is more than enough for me. I want to hear the engine revving. I don't want to hear the fake sound revving, basically. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to turn it on so you guys can hear a bit more of what's going on, because I do think it's very quiet. Okay, so back to sport for the gearbox. Launch control, it's supposed to do 4.9. I did 4.7. You get a fake shift burble as well. 4.7 is quite quick actually. We do have X-Drive of course, but it's a front wheel drive based system. So it doesn't really feel X-Drive, it feels front wheel drive with a little bit of rear drive assistance. Okay, what are you doing? So slow. See, I do like the way this thing drives because it feels very solid, it feels grown up. It's not very exciting, but it does handle well. It does what you expect it to do, and it feels like it's enjoying doing it, sort of. Like if you throw it around a little bit, it starts feeling more at home. When you drive it just regularly, I don't really care for it, but when you throw it around, it sort of feels unfazable, like it can take whatever you throw at it basically, which is not usually the case with front wheel drive cars. So that is quite nice. I like that. So 300 horsepower, 400 Newton meters. Look at that. That is pretty good. Oh, manual mode. Here we go, sport. So 100 to 200 I did 13.4, which is not bad, but also not that good. It's not as quick as a previous M235i we drove. We have a boost as well if you hold the left pedal, but I think it's just kicked down. I don't think you get extra power or anything like that. Top speed 250 kilometers an hour. So let me just, I think I did this in the M135 video as well, but let me just switch off the sound. I mean, I'll be honest, it's great that it's there, that I can switch it off, because I cannot imagine doing like a longer trip or something and then you'd have to listen to that fake sound all the time. However, I cannot hear the engine, so if I am when I turn it off, so if I'm shifting myself in manual mode like I'm now, so third gear, what is that, fourth gear, full throttle, it's almost impossible to hear the red line coming, the rev limiter. So I think it does work for that purpose. You kind of need it, unfortunately. I'm not sure this car even has adaptive dampers. I thought it was standard, but I cannot change them. Individual, no. Oh, so annoying. This, I cannot work with this menu. So I don't have any suspension set up there. I don't think this has adaptive dampers, but they are pretty damn good, so that is quite impressive actually. Let me just hit normal. What? Oh my god. Personal. This to me feels exactly the same, but yeah, I think maybe they're not adaptive or not adjustable, but maybe they're adaptive, like mechanically adaptive, that they change depending on the load. That could be the case. Alright, here we go. 7-speed dual clutch gearbox for the new generation, by the way. which is better than the previous gearbox, but not as good as the ZF 8-speed, I would say, but it's okay. Shifts are pretty quick, response to the pedal is not always great, but it's, you know, 90% of the time it's absolutely fine. The color, I didn't even mention that, is frozen Portimao blue, which I do think fits the car, sort of. It's not my, wouldn't be my choice. I also saw a nice yellow one. I think that looked pretty cool. They have a couple new colors available, like that yellow I think is new, but also some kind of green. They're really trying hard to position this as almost an M. You know, you get M stuff in the interior, you get M stuff styling, you get M badges, you get M this, M that, M seat belts. It's a weird shift there. But I mean, looking at what this car is, you know, size-wise and platform-wise and stuff like that, I think it's pretty impressive the way it handles high speed and just chucking about. It feels good, it feels solid, it feels bigger than it actually is when you want it to, but that also means that when you throw it into a corner it feels very stable and yeah, it's quite enjoyable. It doesn't feel like light on its feet. It weighs 1650, so it's not really light, but it's not bad. And I like the brakes as well, these M compound brakes. They're starting to complain a little bit now because of the heat, but braking performance is really good. So all in all, they have definitely improved on this car. It's just such a specific thing, you know, it's a very niche car. I think more people will go for the 1 Series, and I think people who want something more practical or bigger than a 1 Series will go for a 3 Series, most of them. I think you really need to like this kind of style and this car. It has to compete with an Audi S3 sedan or a CLA 35, something like that. So it's very specific, but they have improved it compared to the last one, and it's not a bad car per se. I quite like the way it drives and handles. So that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. You can subscribe by clicking the big button in the middle. You can also check out this video, this playlist, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye.